Welcome to episode 415 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you're gearing up to play some historic brawl on Arena, or you're just hoping that someday you can go back to F&M. We're here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And on today's show, to kick off the new year, 2021, we're going to be dipping our hands into the Good Luck High Five mailbag and answering some of your questions.
That's right. We're just here at the start of a new year, trying to get our bearings, as is everybody. Everyone's like, 2021, are you going to be okay? Are you going to be chill? Or are you going to be bad like your brother was bad?
Is that some of the questions that like you found yourself having to deal with in life, Megan?
Yeah. Yep. Are you going to be bad like your brother was bad?
Yeah.
Classic question of siblinghood.
We're also going to talk about Standard a little bit because Meghan has been testing for the Venus and Mercury League, which kicks off this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
I'm very excited, and also I'm like pretty sure that I'm just going to get my butt kicked. But
I feel like that's what you always say before every tournament.
I mean, and you know what? I'm usually right.
Well, we'll find out after this weekend. More on that coming up in the show. Before we get to any of that, a big, amazing thank you to everybody who is one of our patrons over on patreon.com/GLHF Magic. I was pausing to put on my miniature hands, which I still have by my desk, So I'm doing a little applause for you. You can't hear it, but you can see it if you watch the video. They're back. They're back, baby. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Zachary, who has become a patron since we last announced it on the last episode.
Yay, Zachary.
Thank you, Zachary.
Good job. Thank you so much, everybody who became a new patron, who remained a patron, who upped their Patreon pledge from last episode to this episode. You keep the show running, and we're so thankful to have all of you to hit the ground running here in 2021 as hopefully the year continues to put the world back on its feet.
That's right. If you don't hit the ground running in 2021, the ground will no longer be beneath you because it will be gone. Like you have to just really be moving, or else it's just gonna zip right past you.
Right past. I thought you were gonna sit. I was imagining it like a treadmill, and you're gonna do a face plant if you didn't start running. But no, the treadmill has already gone without you down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Although I think the face plant is also like fairly accurate.
Once I saw somebody not like running on a trail, except they weren't running with their human feet. They were using like an elliptical, but it was an elliptical that moved down the road with them, So it wasn't stationary. It was like a moving elliptical. So you could be on the elliptical, but you could also be out in nature on an elliptical.
So it was like running, but without the impact.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Wild.
It was the strangest thing. I like couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw it happen before my very eyes.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
real
weird.
So if you've ever thought, I love the elliptical so much that I need to take it with me outside on a running trail.
I'm looking up elliptical, but for outside right now.
Okay, great. Please confirm this for me. That I didn't just hallucinate this person earlier this summer.
There's ones that look like a bicycle.
Huh. No, she was definitely standing up doing it.
Okay.
It was like the gym, it had torn screws out of the ground and left the gym and was like, freedom!
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, all the ones that I'm seeing are like weird elliptical bicycles.
Oh, okay. Well, if you know what I'm talking about, please tweet at GLHF Magic with the hashtag elliptical but outside, because I need to know that I didn't imagine this.
Yeah. What was it? Or was it just a fever dream that Maria had?
It could have been. It honestly could have been, because telling the difference between dreams and reality has become increasingly harder over the course of the pandemic.
Oh boy, hasn't it though?
Anyway, patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Become a member today. Also, big thanks to cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Head on over there if you want to buy anything for your magical life. They're such a great company. They've got super speedy shipping, and they've got basically everything you could ever want to get the year started off right. And if you say good luck high five in your order, they'll give you a sticker or a token, which is really cool. They've got a year in review article up there right now. So not only do they have really cool products, but they've got a really great blog with some cool stuff to read over on their website. All right, everybody, it's time to talk some Standard here to kick off the new year. We've got call time on the horizon, but it's not here quite yet. And to celebrate some new Standard, we've got the Venus and Mercury League coming up this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time over on twitch.tv/aspirantccg if you want to check that out. Meghan is playing in the league.
I am. And do you know what? I have been playing a lot of Standard despite myself.
Okay, what do you mean by that statement?
I mean that just like in general, if someone plays a turn 1 Ruin Crab, you're just like, I want you to go straight to heck and stay there.
Yeah, so rogues are still like plaguing you?
Yes, rogues, they're just still everywhere, and it's just so dumb. Do you know what's dumb? Ruin Crab is dumb.
Well, Ruin Crab did win. Which Crimby did we give it? Like,
I don't know. It was like most surprisingly good or something like that.
Good. Yeah,
but right now it's winning. I hate it the most.
Okay, great.
It's just so annoying, and you're just like, why? Why is this happening? Why is this a thing that we're doing right now?
Why am I being killed by an 0/3 for 1 blue mana?
Exactly. And it's like, it just doesn't do anything except like make all their drown in the locks good or whatever. And I feel like every single time that it happens, my opponent the next turn is like Fabled Passage, milieu for 6.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so mad.
I don't know. I really like the Rogues deck, but the reason I like it is not because of the mill strategy, but you need to have the mill strategy in order to have drawn and block be any good.
It's just, it is a pain. It's a thorn in my side. But
a crab
anyways,
in your leg. Yeah, yes, I get it.
That being said, for a while I was playing Black-White Enchantments. Which is actually like very good against rogues because you just want things in your graveyard.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, thank you. You like put all these enchantments in my graveyard and now I'll like cast this Ephemia and make some zombies.
So
or like, thank you for putting this, like Mogus's Favor in my graveyard. Now I'll cast it from there.
Yeah.
So that was nice. But I kind of got bored. Of them. Of the Black-White Enchantments, I mean. Like it was fun, but I don't know.
It was
That's
a
the thing
summer
about
fling
Standard
for you?
is that you're just playing the same thing again and again.
I mean, look, that is like my and a lot of people's biggest complaint about Standard is the fact that there's not enough deck diversity, which of course
I'm not even talking about
is
deck
hard
diversity.
to
I'm
achieve.
just talking about how I don't like just playing the same deck.
Oh, you want to play different decks.
I want to play different decks. Like, I don't want to play Black-White Enchantments again and again. I want to, like, try everything out. That's why I love draft. You get to draft something completely new every time.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the most fun.
I've got to tell you, though, that makes the Venus and Mercury League pretty ideal for you anyway. Like, you're playing it, you're not locked into a deck for the entirety of the league.
That's true.
You can change every week.
You do. And so I was testing out Black-White, and then I was like, I've got tired of this. And then someone played this like Teamer Draw 2 deck against me, and I was like, this is sick. But I couldn't find a version of it that I really liked.
Yeah.
I've played some like mono green food for a while because it is actually kind of fun to play mono green food.
Whoa. How is it fun? Explain.
Because you just get to bring all these things back from the graveyard and draw a bunch of cards with Great Henge.
Oh, I do love the Great Henge. That I understand.
Exactly. Like Great Henge. Oh, love it. I love the Great Henge so much.
Yeah,
You draw so many cards with it. I love bringing back a Feasting Troll King from the graveyard. It's just a blast.
Okay, I'm on board now.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
It's just a real good time, So anyways, I played some of that. And then I was like, do you know what? I'm bored.
I'm sensing a through line here.
Yes, I was like, I'm bored. Let's just like troll some online deck lists and just find something and jam it. And what I landed on was Naya Winota.
Okay, this I could not believe. Before we started recording, Megan's like, guess which deck I'm playing in the VML. And
Maria had so many guesses, and never once was she near guessing I was going to play Naya Winota.
Almost maybe the last deck I would have ever expected you to play.
But do you know what? It's just a party, man. Like what a good time.
It is.
It's a fun time. Like sometimes you put things into play with Winota. Sometimes you just get to do these like fun counter synergies with Basri's Lieutenant.
Oh yeah.
Which puts counters on things, and then it has Luminarch Aspirant, and that puts is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, the little
one in a white.
1/1.
Yeah, that puts like counters on things, and then like they try and kill your stuff, and you just end up with more things. It's a good time.
Oh, I never thought about that. Luminorg Aspirant plus Boss Reese Lieutenant.
It's great. You have Lotus Cobra. Do I think that the deck is actually good? No. Did I submit it for the VML this week anyways? Yes.
Hey, you know what? The thing about playing Winota is that you can win out of nowhere at any time.
That's true. Is that like sometimes you might just attack with like 3 non-humans with a Winota in play and then like put into play a bunch of things that are tapped and attacking, and it's a great time.
Yeah, or you're like, I have nothing to do. My creatures all stink. I'm outclassed, and then you draw Winota, play Winota, attack. Boom,
and you're just
dead.
like, okay, everything's great now.
Yeah.
Sometimes your opponent forgets that like Winota makes the things that it puts into play indestructible for a turn. It's a good time. Yep. All I'm saying
that is a great time.
It's a real good time. So yeah, that's my plan.
So, how do you feel about playing against Allie Warfield, your round 1 opponent who has had a lot of success, like on the SCG circuit and stuff, and in Rivals?
I would say that the worst part of it is I was like, oh, she kind of tends to lean into like red, green, or green. And so I just like scrapped all of the rogues cards out of the sideboard.
Great.
Of this deck, and luckily she's not playing rogues. I was like, I don't think she's going to, but she is playing Doom Foretold instead.
Ooh, tough matchup.
So I don't think that I'm very favored. Excuse me.
Oh, that's so cool though.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm very entertained by the fact that we're like a deeply off meta matchup. I'm just like, what's this matchup over here? Oh, it's Winota and Doom Foretold. Like, okay.
Great. So how does this work with the stream that's happening on Friday?
So the way it works is that everyone who plays this week, you just contact your opponent and you all schedule a time to play sometime before Friday, and then you record, and then they take some of the matches and they broadcast them with commentary.
Oh, cool. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Wow. So how many weeks does this tournament run again?
Maria, if only I knew.
I suppose it's different if you make it in the playoffs or whatever. Yeah,
I'm kidding. I think that this base part, I want to say, runs 5 weeks because there's 6 people in each one.
Okay. Great.
Is
so
that right?
Basically,
I think so.
You have to count. I mean, you're going to have to face the end boss, Caroline Kavanagh, at some point. We all know the 2-time champion.
Only if I do well, because Caroline is in a different, a different pod than me.
Okay.
So let's see. Hold on. I'll tell you right now how many weeks there are.
All right. I'm just imagining I'm setting up an end boss fight. It's you and Caroline in the end, and you have, you've got to face her in a dark arena.
Oh, there's 7 weeks because there's 8 people in each division.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So good time.
How do you think you're going to feel when you sit down to record that match?
Oh, man. I think it's going to be wild. I'm going to be like, what's even happening right now?
I know. We haven't played competitively for so long.
I know. The closest thing was the Arena Open.
Yeah.
That's the closest.
And I remember you saying, you're like, oh, I can feel the rush of competition again.
It's true. I'm sure I'll feel it. I'm sure I'm going to make some real dumb mistakes as a result.
Oh, well, I mean, that's just a given. We're all a little rusty. We're all going to be making mistakes like this, coming back into things that we the
adrenaline gets flowing, and then the next thing you know, you've really made a horrible mistake.
I'm already seeing it happen with human interaction, right? In person. If you're somewhere where other humans are, socially distanced, safe and everything, like outside, and you're talking to them, whatever's happening, I have noticed myself being like, wait, how do I human being interaction with people again?
Yeah.
I'm rusty at it after all this time. So it only goes to follow that. Oh, I dropped one of my mini hands.
Oh no.
That we would be rusty when it comes to competitive play too. Remember, you've got to think once we're back in person, you're shuffling. You have to cut decks. You've got, no, it's going to be a disaster.
It's going to be a real disaster.
I'm going to make a prediction right now, bold prediction. First competitive paper event in person, like a GP, that happens once again. There'll be more judge calls for dexterity violations than any other tournament of all time.
Also, did you just call it a dexterity violation?
Yeah, I don't know what the technical term is, but you know what I mean.
Excuse me, Judge, dexterity violation?
So, you know, something like that. You can tell us what the actual rule is by hashtag dexterity violation, please, at GLHF Magic, because I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like when you accidentally see somebody's deck when you cut it or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know what, I think it might just be like too bad.
It's called too bad.
It's called too bad. Like, I mean, if you accidentally showed your opponent your deck by like dropping a bunch of cards on the table.
Oh, that is for sure called too bad.
Like, that's just your bad.
Erase this. Hold on. We need to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind your opponent. They'll be back in a few hours after we've erased what your deck is from their memory.
Oh, I was going to say they were going to Men in Black them.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Flashy
like,
thing. So much faster.
Yeah, so much faster. Of all the ways to wipe people's memories.
Either like this weird complicated surgery. Actually, I can't remember what it is in Eternal Sunshine that they actually do. Maybe they don't even explain it.
I don't remember.
Flashy thing only takes a few seconds.
Like that.
Once at a tournament, I was in the last round of a GP and this was playing for day 2 and I accidentally drew a card even though I was on the draw.
Wait, you mean on the play?
Yes, on the play. That would have been fine.
If you had drawn a card on the draw, you were simply
that's what you're supposed to do.
playing the game correctly.
I did it incorrectly, and my opponent, the fix then, I'm not sure if it is the same fix now, is they can thought seize you for free.
That's a bummer.
And that was really bad because I was playing Boggles.
Yeah, yep.
It was awful. I was like, you idiot, to myself. Aww. Thankfully, I still won the match, but I did not win that game. Although I would have if I had not mistakenly drawn a card on the play.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not dexterity. That's mental fatigue.
That's mental dexterity.
Mental dexterity. Yes, that's the word for it.
Anyways, I am super excited. Like, I think it'll be fun. I think that like this Winota deck, even if it just gets like mercilessly crushed, is a good time to play. So like,
for
I
sure.
hope that I at least get to have like one Winota trigger that's like a party.
Oh yeah, I hope you do too, especially because that will probably mean they'd show off your game because that would be a fun game to see on the stream.
Yeah, exactly. I will simply hope that the games are good enough that they broadcast them, so that it can be some fun times.
All right, everybody who wants to send positive energy Megan's way, go ahead and tweet at us with, I'm making so many hashtags today, it's unprecedented, with the hashtag Winota Party.
Yes, Winota Party.
And tune in once again on Friday to twitch.tv/aspirantccg at 9 p.m. Eastern time if you want to see some highlights from these matches happening all week.
Yeah.
It's time to dive face first into the Good Luck High Five mailbag. Wear your goggles because that might hurt. We've got some questions from listeners.
Yeah, I don't recommend diving face first into mail.
Yeah, I mean, butt first, is that the best way?
If you had to dive into a giant pool of envelopes, I guess probably butt first would be the way you'd want to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You don't want to.
Or maybe just like feet first.
Feet first, yeah, for sure. Unless it's, I mean, like very deep, then it's just now we're getting scary.
Yeah.
How deep is this mailbag? How is it enough to suck me down and suffocate me under the weight of the mail? Do you ever have grain elevator nightmares?
Yes, absolutely.
I was pretty sure that was you who said
absolutely. No, that is me.
Grain,
like I'm just saying, as like we could stop talking about this.
Oh, okay.
Because it is in fact one of my nightmares.
All right, well, let's get to the questions then.
Oh man, I had a Godzilla nightmare last night.
You did?
Yeah,
Why?
that I forgot about. I don't know. It was just wild. They were transformed. They started out as little Godzillas.
Cute.
And then some kind of network of plants
Polywog
transformed
symbiote?
them into enormous Godzillas.
That sounds like it's probably a movie starring Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I mean, it really sounds like it could be. And I remember like part of my dream was like there being like grainy news footage of like people trying to shoot them when they were medium sized and killing people. Anyways.
Your dreams are so weird. Why did you have a Godzilla dream?
I don't know. It was very weird.
You've not been watching any Godzilla movies?
No.
Oh, so strange.
I know it.
Have you
was
been
just out of
playing a
nowhere.
lot of Ikoria Draft?
No.
All
It
right.
just happened.
Can't explain it.
I know. I can't explain it either, man. But it is what it is.
Here we are.
Here we are. Here we are.
Question number 1.
Yep.
I love this question. As a Canadian Highlander and Gladiator player, I have a fondness for competitive 1v1 singleton formats, and I believe you've mentioned enjoying singleton in the past. Yes, that's right. Do you think there should or ever will be an official competitive singleton format?
Do you know what? I like keeping it as like brawl and stuff.
You like keeping it cash?
I like keeping it cash. Hot take, I like keeping it cash. I like that there's a format where I never have to think about trying to win a bunch. I can just think about having a good time.
My question is, though, I mean, I personally would love to see it because I want to see what happens more than anything else, because it's such a difference from a 4-of format to a 1-of format.
Yeah.
And is that enough to stop like one deck from being at the top or not?
Yeah.
I want to know the answer to that question.
That's fair. That's a good question. I don't know.
My gut tells me that there will still be a best deck and
Yes.
maybe a best couple of decks.
I agree. I don't think that there's really any way to prevent that. Like, even
there'll
if
be
it's just
control.
singleton.
Yeah, there'll be control decks, I imagine, because aggro decks I don't think are consistent enough in best of one.
Yeah.
Best of one. You know what I mean? Singleton.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, I wonder if
compete?
there are like some format, like the fact that it's singleton, I wonder if it just kind of like narrows the range of like what is truly hardcore competitive down so much that it just wouldn't ever be a super satisfying hyper competitive format.
Yeah, like I think Yorian proved to us that increasing the number of cards as well, because a lot of these are 100-card formats, does not hamper a control deck as much as you would think that it would.
Yeah.
Let me think. I still think it would be very fun, and I definitely want to try it. We love Singleton. It's
I
just
love
so
Brawl.
fun. Brawl is great.
Like Brawl, I think, is like the closest thing that I think of when people talk about a competitive singleton format.
Yes, for
It's
sure.
like, oh, it would probably look like Brawl, where it has a more limited card pool than Commander.
Yep.
And it's a 60-card deck as opposed to a 100.
Yeah, exactly. And I know in the past we've been like, oh, we should run a historic Brawl tournament. So like we should get back onto figuring that out, because that would be one data point for us.
Yeah, it would be a fun time.
In this study.
But
So I guess we're split on the answer to that. But maybe one day we'll find out. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, the same person asked, where do you fall on the sandwich alignment chart? Which I think is like, it's a very good question. So there's like the two axes are like ingredients and structure. So that you can be an ingredient purist, like must have classic sandwich toppings. Ingredient neutral can contain a broader scope of savory ingredients, or ingredient rebel can contain literally any food product sandwiched together.
Yep.
Then there's structure, which is it has to have the classic shape of two pieces of bread and stuff in between.
Great.
Structure neutral. The container must be on either side of the toppings, but not necessarily two separate pieces. And then structure rebel can contain any food enveloped in any way by a containing food.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
the two extremes are hardline traditionalist, which is like a BLT is a sandwich. Of
Yes.
course, everyone can agree on that. And radical sandwich anarchy, which is a Pop-Tart is a sandwich.
Yes.
Megan, where are you on this chart? I know where I
Radical
am.
sandwich anarchy. A Pop-Tart is a sandwich.
And I, on the other hand, I'm not a hardline traditionalist, but I am a structural neutral ingredient purist.
So you say a sub is a sandwich.
A sub is a sandwich, yes. And the way I've said this before is that if I was sick and I was in bed and I was like, I feel so horrible, and you come over and you're like, how can I help you? And I'm like, I just really have a craving for a sandwich. Could you bring me a sandwich? And you bring me a I swore. Sorry. I have to bleep myself
This
out.
is what this is what pushed Maria to swearing.
And
It's
you
the
bring me-
sandwich talk.
And you bring me a stinking Pop-Tart, I'm going to be like, what did I say? Did I say I want a Pop-Tart? No, I did not.
I, on the other hand, if I said bring me a sandwich and you brought me a Pop-Tart, I would be so massively entertained. It would bring me more joy than a traditional sandwich ever could.
And you'd be like, yes, you have brought me a sandwich. You have completed this
I would
quest.
I would be like, thank you for this sandwich.
All right. Well, it looks like the debate is never settled. The age-old debate never quite settled.
Yeah. I love this chart. Great chart.
It's great chart. A question from Greg here. Have you ever traded or sold any Magic cards that you regret looking back now? I sold my dual lands in college years ago. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts.
I sold a Invention Soul Ring.
Oh, I remember when you opened that.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. And I was mostly I was just like, this makes practical sense. Like, I should just sell this because I'm not going to put it in anything. Like, I'm not a person who super cares about what my cards look like or about like foiling out or like using special treatments on my deck or whatever. So I should just sell it so I can like enter more events because that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
But it was really cool and really pretty.
It was cool.
So I guess maybe that one makes me a little sad. I do wish I still had that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, we haven't been playing for long enough to really have any regrets like dual lands or anything.
Yeah.
But no, I can't think of any off the top of my head. There's ones that I've sold that I know if I held on to them, they would only accrue. Like I had some really sweet, like you mentioned, like cool alternate treatment cards that are just playable forever, and that they'll only get more expensive as time goes on, that I just sold because I'm like, oh well, this person wants it, I can have money now. So like slight regret, I guess, but like also whatever, I made the decision, it's fine.
Yep,
Bethany wants to know, what would your ideal MTG release be? Any specific mechanics or characters? What frame would you want them in? Oh, that's an interesting question.
My ideal would be like all borderless.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that, I feel like that's like my top, like all borderless. It's definitely got to have sagas in it.
Oh yeah.
It probably has to have bestow in it. We've talked about this. And morph. There we go.
I feel like that's a really cool, weird Theros you've described.
Yeah, like sagas, bestow, morph, and all borderless. And
like cycling, MDFCs.
Oh my god. Yeah, just take all the best ones.
I wonder if that set would probably be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I feel like it would be, but it would also be like, maybe it's like too many of like the classic big hitters.
I don't know. Is it too much of a good thing?
Yeah,
or not?
Maybe it is.
I guess we could do like a master set and find out.
Yeah. Oh, I do have to say, I also really loved the Ikoria comic book art ones.
Oh yeah, those
beautiful. Were really cool. Like, I would maybe love to see like that as an art. As
Wouldn't
like
it
the
be
alternate
cool
in the stream set
to like see a set completely of quote unquote alternate art?
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
Yeah. Maria, what about you?
Well, as everyone knows, I would like a set in the Blind Eternities, which Mark Rosewater reminds me is not a place that anything can ever happen because it's not a thing.
Yeah.
He said it's like setting a set in a doorway. That's what he told me.
Which is also like, a cool idea.
Come on, Mark. Think outside the box, okay? It's like weird space. It's like the nether regions. There's like weird little goblins and demons that live there. And then, of course, things that have been sent to the Blind Eternities to be put in jail.
It's and just everything is in the Blind Eternities. Every creature ever is in the Blind Eternities because every creature has been exiled at least once.
Oh, that's a great point. Like, and stuff blinks in and out of existence there as it's pulled from the Blind Eternities. And it's just really weird and messed up and spooky. And it's like a parallel universe.
Yeah.
Anyway, just, come on, Mark. Just
I have to say, Maria, you once dreamed of a Huey Lewis in the News themed set. And I have to say, Caltime is maybe the closest you'll ever get.
Yeah, it kind of is. An 80s hair metal set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like...
Here we are. We're basically getting there. Even though I wouldn't call it Huey Lewis in the News metal, I would call it.
I mean, like rock. Exactly. It's like rock, but like still, it's like music adjacent. Caltime is.
Caltime is music adjacent. I'll take that. Yeah, Huey Lewis in the News. We're still waiting for that. Caltime. All right, I'll take it. I'll take a victory on that.
Mira Punk asks, "What's your favorite bat?"
Great question.
Really
Great
good question. I'm just going to get on Scryfall, look up all the creature type bats really quick.
Oh, good idea.
Because also now I'm wondering, like, type line creature
Bat.
is bat. Search with these options. Let's see.
Magic has got to have some good bats over the years.
There's not quite 60. They're all, unsurprisingly, they're mostly black. But also there's one that's black white. And then there's also green. This is probably the winner. This is from Unsanctioned, Surgeon General Commander. Legendary creature Wombat Bat Chameleon.
Love it.
Whenever you augment, enchant, or mutate a creature you control, draw a card. And this was when they winked at us with mutate, remember?
Oh yeah.
They were like, wink, wink. Like, what does it mean to mutate? It wasn't a thing at the time, and people were like, what does it mean to mutate a creature?
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Gosh, all of these bats are really great. This art, I would say creature type bat has above average Magic art.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool bats in here.
Like Darkmoor bat or Dakmoor bat, excuse me, is like eating a moth mid-flight and a moon and a like sunset sky behind it.
I remember like Blightkeeper looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Blightkeeper. I love the bat from, which set is this? Unsanctioned. That's half, half. You can put it on something else.
It's one of the ones that you can augment, and it's bat whatever.
I love that bat. Yeah. That's very cute.
Very cute bat
is a beautiful drawing by Niels Hamm.
Yeah.
That I think is pretty gorgeous bat.
I will say that there is one horrifying bat, dementia bat.
Ooh,
I don't know who named that or what's happening,
creepy.
but it's from Newphorexia, and it is terrifying.
I like marrow bats too. They're like skeleton. It's creature type bat skeleton.
This one is like a bat that's wearing a gas mask.
I like these bats a lot.
Yeah.
I will pick bat skeleton.
Marrow bats. I mean, if I had to pick one that's not from the unset, probably Malakir Familiar. I like his little pig nose.
It does have a little pig nose.
Yeah, a little pig nose bat. Cute.
Great question.
Colton asks, what color lightsaber will Grogu have?
Love this question. Thank you, Colton. You know that Grogu is my life, and I think about Grogu almost nonstop. And Grogu would definitely have a purple lightsaber a la Mace Windu.
Oh, purple's a great color. I like that.
Yeah. I just have a feeling, Grogs, that your lightsaber is perps.
All right. I can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
Ben asks, when I was a teacher, what did I teach? I taught first grade and then fourth grade. I did not enjoy teaching. It's very difficult. Shout out to teachers.
Yep. Don't get paid enough.
And the job sucks big time.
Yep. Absolutely.
In my opinion.
For sure. I love, this is not a question but a comment. Somebody said, we're watching the eggnog episode. It's reducing us to coughing fits of laughter quality content. Thank you, MC Hawk.
I'm really glad that our suffering brought you joy.
Oh, good gravy. That was a day.
It was a rough time. Maria, what's happening over on Facebook?
I'm actually looking in Discord right now from our Patreon.
What's happening in the Discord?
Patrons. All right. With this being a new year after such a difficult one for many folks, what are each of you most hopeful about in 2021?
Oh.
I'm looking up on Facebook too, just to make sure I didn't miss any.
Wow. Okay. I think mine would be being able to travel somewhere.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That's like, I really want to be able to travel somewhere.
I'm just super excited for, it's my answer is the answer of everybody, which is that I want to do a show again. I want to do an improv show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number one thing I want to do with an audience that is watching live there and everyone is in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Oh man. What a time. What a time.
What a time. This is a great question. Last year, we began to see some of the adjustments Wizards has been making showing up in sets for card power level trending upwards and color pie abilities and strength, mostly for white, red, and some abilities in black. Are there adjustments you'd like to see them make regarding gameplay?
Can you read the first part again?
Yeah, we've been seeing some of the adjustments Wizards has been making showing up in sets for card power level, which is trending up, and color pie abilities for like white, red, and black.
Yeah. Okay. Stop giving red card draw.
Yeah, I knew that's
I've said it a million times. I'll say it until red has no more card draw. Stop giving red card draw. It makes me so mad. Don't give them. Okay, it's fine to have like a tormenting voice. It's even fine to have like a cathartic reunion, but like experimental frenzy, are you kidding me? Bomat Courier, are you kidding me? Like you're supposed to have to give something up if you're playing red aggro, and what you're giving up is card advantage, so actually make them give it up.
Ooh, snap.
That's my soapbox for it.
My soapbox always is regarding white, and I want to see white have like it's notoriously like the worst color, the color pie. And it's one of my favorite colors in Magic. So I'm always kind of like, oh, what can we do to make white better? And so I always say, let's challenge ourselves when we think about this color and what it can do and give it strengths that don't rely on other cards for it to be strong, right? So normally it's like, oh, well, whites go wide and then it needs a buff or it needs creatures or whatever. So I'm always like, let's make white cards that have an ability that you can use later on in the game that is actually relevant.
Like what?
So I think I said like it gets a what's that effect? A detain effect or something along those lines. A detain, an exile, or whatever for enough mana and a sacrifice. And some white cards do in fact have this ability.
Yeah.
But to have it be more of something that's the color's identity than it has right now.
Wow.
Which is
I would argue that exile is a big part of white's color identity.
Yeah, for sure. I just mean like being able to pair that better with creatures or something.
I think like Skyclave Apparition is a great example.
Sure. Yeah,
the fact
and
that the card is gone
Apparition
forever is like something new that they've played with, and I think that it was part of a push to make white better.
Yes, it was one of the last cards added to this that they added it in last thing because they're like, oh, we think white needs this, and look how much
how
it is
prevalent
impacted.
it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, if applicable, what do you hope to see done with Magic Story? I think something that they've already answered two of our wishes of this, which was to put the story back on their website so you don't have to buy an ebook.
That's a big part of it. Absolutely.
And two, which was to divest themselves from markets that weren't going to accept things that should happen in the Magic Story, like that they were worried about, like, LGBT characters or whatever, that they weren't, for whatever reason, allowed to put in to other markets. They're now free and open to do so. So those are two of my big gripes.
Yeah. Same.
And that's all I've got there.
And I mean, stop treating Nahiri like a villain.
Nahiri did nothing wrong. Hashtag Nahiri did nothing wrong.
Hashtag Nahiri can do no wrong.
Zelo asks, I know you're excited for the legendary squirrel creature, are intending to build it for Commander. What other new legendary creatures have to bring to the table in order to get you equally excited for brewing Commander?
Oh man,
I don't know.
I don't know. This legendary wolf is cool.
It's really pretty. The alternate
really
art.
Pretty. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's hard to say.
Yeah, Megan, come on. You've said Treasure Cruise. Make Treasure Cruise a creature.
Yes,
She'll play
okay, do you know
Commander.
what? There we go. Fine. You're right. Every single time my answer is just make Treasure Cruise a creature.
Any good reads in 2020?
Oh, man.
I know Megan's going to have some answers to this question.
Yeah, my top two books of the year were a book called We Are Not Free, which is about the incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II. It's really, really good. It's a great novel. I think it balances really well you being outraged and you're like, I can't believe that the U.S. did this. But do you know what? The U.S. did.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like, because it's a novel, it's a lot about individual people's lives, and like it manages to not it manages to find like really hopeful moments or like really lovely moments, and balancing that out with like being really angry and really aghast and really like horrified.
Yeah.
Really excellent book. Cannot recommend it enough. And then my other one was Mexican Gothic, which is like a classic, like it kind of harkens back to like old school Gothic novels, which were in like the 1800s. I love like Gothic novels do this really, for me, like the hallmark of a Gothic novel is one, like atmosphere of everything being kind of like creepy and weird. But two, it's like this piece of it where you're like, especially with women, it did this of like, is this person crazy or is what they are experiencing real? And is it real and just happening, or is it malicious and a malicious act by somebody else?
Ooh.
Right? It like plays with all those questions. And this, I think, this is set in like 1920s. Is it 1920s or 1950s Mexico? And has like this like this awesome like main character who's this like socialite in that era. And like, I think it just does such a good job of still playing with that same question of like, is what she's experiencing in this world, like, is she going crazy? Is someone maliciously making her go crazy? Is it just happening? Is she not actually crazy and all this stuff is actually happening? Oh, it's so good. I cannot recommend it enough.
I'm excited to read it. Megan got it for me for Christmas, and
and
super
the cover is
stoked.
so gorgeous.
It's really pretty.
It's really pretty. So yeah, those are my big two.
My two recs for you are one that I'm late to the party on, but I'm going to mention it here now. Megan has read this earlier this summer. Red, White, and Royal Blue. I loved it.
So good.
I loved it. It's a like quote unquote trashy romance novel, but it's really more than that.
It's so good.
It's so good and so witty and clever, and it's just a great fun romance. If you're like, I need a pick me up in my life and some joy in my life, consider reading this. It's just a delight. About an American like son of the president and British royal prince
it's so
getting
good.
together. And like, honestly, I read, the author was like, I kind of wanted to write like what would happen if like somebody else had been elected president after Obama. And I kind of want to think about how the world would be different and more optimistic. And like, it really does make you feel optimistic and happy to read it. And you're like, oh, what if this had happened? It's just a wonderful, fun romp. Yeah. And I highly recommend it. The other one,
so good,
that I love is this cool newer one for me, The Creative Tarot by Jessica Crispin, which if anybody knows, I've kind of into the tarot and reading it and stuff. And this is a really cool book about like how to use it to help you spark creativity and like get inspiration for your projects. If you're feeling stuck, how do you move past that? It's not like about the future, which, you can do if that's your thing. But I like to think of it as like, oh, I'm feeling stuck, or I don't know how to deal with this problem, and like kind of rewiring your brain to help you think about your situation differently and push you in new directions that maybe you wouldn't have gotten to on your own, or at least not as quickly. So that's really cool. Read too, if that kind of thing is your jam.
Nice. One of my ones from last year too, if you have not read it yet, is Circe by Madeline Miller.
Oh yeah.
One of the best books I've read literally in my lifetime. So if you have not read it, go out, read it. So good.
Yes, that is the review from literally everyone.
Everyone who's ever read Circe.
About this book.
It's like, this book is so good. It's so good.
I love this next question like I love Grogu. Okay. Suppose you're at an important business meeting in a corporate boardroom and a guy is like, we're going through with the merger and that's final. And somebody else is like, now, before you commit to anything, I advise you to look inside this briefcase. All this can be yours. Just reconsider our offer. And you open up the briefcase and it's just filled with spaghetti and red sauce. Will you take the spaghetti guy's offer?
Yes.
Yes, obviously.
The answer is yes.
Yep, 100%.
Spaghetti guy.
Take the offer from Spaghetti Guy. They obviously have a lot going on.
Every boardroom needs a spaghetti guy.
Every office needs a spaghetti
guy. Office needs a spaghetti guy.
Did you have any questions off of Insta, Megan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because that's all from Discord and Twitter for now.
All right. The first one is, when will they make land destruction decent again to stop all the ramp? Nobody wants that. You're a monster.
Is that Cube April?
It was not Cube April, but you know what? We have a friend for you. Find Cube
yeah, we
April on Twitter, and you can talk about land destruction all day.
Great. Play
Ooh.
Ponzu.
Tim asks, what is your favorite MTG land art?
What a question.
Wow, that's like a really difficult question.
Well, I know my answer.
Okay, which one's your answer?
Okay, so obviously I love land art so much. My answer is the APAC Plains, which is the
Ooh.
Sunflower Plains.
Okay.
And this was from a project where they went, there's Euro lands and APAC lands, and they went and they found real places and they painted them on these lands, which is pretty cool. And these are the Sunflower Plains. I love them. I have 2 of them in my personal collection. They're kind of expensive, but you only run like one Plains in Boggle, so that's where it lives currently in my real life. And then I of course have them in my Arena decks because they just released those lands on Arena, which was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gosh, this is hard. I think.
Are you a Cup Island person?
I am an island person. I think like one of the ones that comes to mind. What was this for? It's the island. I think it's an unset originally, like one of the borderless islands.
Sure.
That
One
you
of the
can
first
get.
borderless islands.
I don't know.
I also have to mention the birch trees, the forest with the birch trees with the snow on them.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a pretty little sunset behind them. That's all tied.
Yeah. I sent you one. I sent you the one that I'm talking about. Do you know when it's from? I don't know when it's from.
How do I open chat? Like
I don't know, Maria.
There it is. My window was too small. Okay. Yeah, this was from oh my gosh, when was this?
I don't even know. That's the thing.
Adam Paquette Island with the gold. It was kind of recent.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Like this one was from. This one it wasn't like it just calls it arena promo on here. Anyways, I love it. It's beautiful. It's borderless. It's like a cool like it's like an ocean, but then like the cool like rock formations above it.
Yeah.
It's great. I like it.
I want to get back on the borderless train just for a second because we kind of went past it really fast. But
yeah,
borderless cards, I think, soapbox, every card in Magic should be borderless.
Yeah, we've said it before.
Yep.
We've said it before, and we mean it.
Yeah, I'm serious, people.
I know.
Not playing around. Looks better.
Yeah. Yep, it just does. Oh, it just does. It looks so like modern.
It looks like a modern game.
Yeah. And I will say I feel like this is like a cheating answer, but there's like the Godzilla Island also. I really like. I think it's really pretty and it looks really cool.
Any land goes in these I think. So that's not a cheaty answer.
Anyways, I really love that one.
A+.
All right.
A+ answers.
If you could draft a set from before the modern era, which would you draft? So that means any set that's not legal in modern.
Oh.
Do you know what? I think you just have to go with like beta, right? You're just like, if you're going to go back, just go all like, just slam it.
Crack that power. Even though like we've learned that the draft of that format is kind of
like
bad.
It's like bad. Yes.
They drafted it for the 25th anniversary and like people were like opening power and stuff and their decks were just hot garbage.
Exactly. They're like, okay, it's not actually good, but like it would just be cool. It would still be so cool.
It would be cool, and remember to play any creature that you pick, and remember to pick a creature. Yep.
Pick a creature, and you'll be better for it.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I was gonna say I want to draft the set with horsemanship in it.
Oh yeah, okay.
But that's I believe that's in modern, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. The people need to know.
What?
People need to know.
Hold on. Okay, well, I can't. Hold on.
By the way, everybody, I opened a what's it called? Why can't I think of it? A special fancy booster.
Collector booster
the other day. Because I had one sitting here for a long time and I forgot to open it on the Crimby episode.
Oh no, that one you could draft. That's Portal 3 Kingdoms, and it is not legal in modern, so it is from before.
I've heard that the draft of that is terrible as well, just so you know, but I just want to draft horsemanship.
I'm into that. I would try that.
My Foily Mountain.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Horsemanship.
Anyway. Horsemanship. Marie wants to play with horsemanship because it's
Everybody
like
wants
flying.
to play with
It's exactly the same as flying, except horses. I mean, better than flying, honestly, because reach creatures can't block it.
Yeah. And that's everything from over on Insta.
Wow. Thank you, everybody, so much for all of your questions. We'll do another AMA. You know, we do them periodically throughout the year just to make sure we answer things that you've got going on. If you're a patron, you can always post in the mailbag section of our Discord. That's kind of like a, forever AMA in there. And we'll try to answer your questions as they arise. Tag me if you want to get a faster answer. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for sending questions in. Hey, everybody, did you get some cool magic stuff for Christmas? And you're like, I wish I had something cool to put this magic stuff in. Did you crack a collector booster? And like, where do I put these beautiful cards? Don't worry, we have the answer.
Ultra Pro.
Ultra Pro.
Ultra Pro is the place to go.
Yeah, I'm looking right now at their Mythic series. They've got deck boxes, binders, play mats, and it is just gorgeous. Like, it looks kind of like fabric, but it's not fabric. So like woven material that they're using on these deck boxes and stuff. Yeah. And they've got the cool Mythic Orange Planeswalker symbol on them. And if you open them up, you can see an embossed Planeswalker symbol on the inside of the boxes and stuff. This is kind of like the fanciest height of Magic collectible coolness.
Yes.
Is this Mythic series stuff. If you've got some cool stuff that you want to keep safe, consider Ultra Pro's Mythic series deck boxes and binders, because they are just gorgeous. And also, by the way, they've got the fanciest of all of the deck boxes is the Mythic Edition Alcove Vault. Yes. And they made a meme, and it's this great. Bad boy can hold so many sleeve cards in it meme. And it's 200 double sleeve cards in that bad boy.
Nice. Double sleeve.
So, hold all the stuff, double sleeve it, look awesome, high end, protect your collector boosty prizes.
Yes.
Ultra Pro. Well, everybody, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five. Thank you once again so much for hanging out with us for another week. It means so much to have you here with us every single week during a time when, the pandemic is happening. You raise our spirits by knowing that our voices are going out through your cat's mouths and into your ear holes.
That's right. We all hope that 2021 is better than 2020. But no matter what this year turns out looking like, we're always here for you. Hopefully giving you that magic news you need over on the upkeep. And giving you that magic joy you can feel here on these episodes.
Yeah, if you want to become a patron and give some of that joy back to us, it takes just a couple of minutes, and it costs so very little per month, all things considered. Like if you're buying coffee, you can equate it to that. Me, my energy drink of choice, certainly cheaper than that.
Yep, and remember, it gets you things like the Molly moment.
Molly moment!
She's not even looking at us.
She's got her
Molly,
back turned
around.
to us.
Molly.
She's shunning us.
Hi, Molly.
There she is. Hi, Molly. What a good kitty.
Come here. Hi.
Hi. Patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Bringing you Molly moments since Meghan got Molly, honestly. Yeah. Back in the day.
Come here.
Next week, we've got a special show for you. We're going to have a very special guest on to talk about Arena and how to go infinite on Arena by drafting. I'm super excited to hear what our guest has to say. Hi, Molly. Say something. Say hi. Molly? She's like, I refuse.
She's like, no, absolutely not.
I will not meow on cue for you, you pitiful human.
I'm not a dog.
I'm not a dog. Come on. So yeah, like super exciting stuff. We've got, how to go infinite. We've also got our Kaldheim previews coming up on our next episode, which will be super exciting. And one step closer to Kaldheim too, which is coming out later this month on the 28th on Arena. Very excited for our Huey Lewis in the news set.
When I had that realization, I was like, I have to tell Maria this.
Yes, you do.
It's technically it's way closer than you ever should have gotten.
That's honestly very true. They should never make a Huey Lewis in the news. So, but it's close as we're gonna get. Kaldheim. Yeah, thanks once again to Card Kingdom and Ultra Pro for being awesome sponsors in our Ultra show. Thanks to Molly for being there, Ghost Host as always, and all of you at home for checking the show out every single week. I'm putting together my 2 tiny hands for you right now. Do you hear them?
Unfortunately, I do.